I'm really excited about giving this talk today because energy, it's a big deal. It's a big thing. Can anyone know why energy is a big deal in this business?
Customers can feel it.
Customers can definitely feel it. Over in the back. Sales and the transfer of energy. I always told myself that energy or sales is an energy sport. So, what I'll be talking about is energy. If I can figure out how this thing works. And how it's going to affect and take your business to the next level. Primarily energy around the concept of health and fitness. Now, before I go into that, I want to ask you, why are you here in this particular message? And before you answer that to yourself, think about the understanding of the impact that this has on your business. Now, I want to share why I'm here. So a couple years ago, and this is actually a big reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's so important to me, because I was actually pretty sick a few years ago, and I thought I was doing everything right because I had a really good background in fitness. However, I had some stuff that was coming up. I had some diagnosis that was affecting my stomach and my digestive tract, and it caused a lot of other ailments that transcended into not only my psychology, but also I would call it's not really tangible, but like the soul aspect of the human. So what I understood is it's not just about being one-dimensional. Being one-dimensional, I thought, was just all about take care of your fitness and everything else will transpire. And your sales will grow because of it. But I was ignoring the fact that there's also a mental piece and a spiritual piece to being a human. And now, through that, I also found out that no matter how well you take care of your body and your fitness, if your mind is unwell and your soul is unwell, you're an unwell human. So I found a path through health and fitness, through the understanding of energy, to cure and heal myself and pretty much take control and seize back control of my life. And through that, my sales skyrocketed. Not only my sales skyrocketed, but my lifestyle improved. My lifestyle improved, my finances improved, my relationships improved, all aspects of life. So that's why I'm here, so I can deliver some goods to you so that you don't have to make the same pitfalls, the same mistakes that I had to go through. And then also this topic is a really big passion of mine. So I just wanted to make sure I'm just giving in a huge way and just give back to this platform, this business that I created with Cutco, the same way this event impacted me years and years and years of my upbringing. Over the years of developing my mindset, my character, my sales skills, everything that allowed me to create the lifestyle that I have. So, with that said, what we're going to go over today is 3 things: brain optimization, energy balance, and your physique and the fitness. And the overview is this trifecta that's going to actually take into account and make the difference of your foundation around fitness, nutrition, and sleep. So, first thing is, why is energy and fitness important in booth sales? Does anyone know why? There's a thing called confidence, guys. So, anyone here, have you ever gotten a haircut? And just sold more the next day? Or if you were not clean shaven and you're like, man, I'm not doing well. Like my averages are low, I'm getting all these no sales, and you just clean up and you just clean house the next day? Or maybe it could be getting your hair done, or maybe your nails, or maybe it's a certain clothing you put on. Now, if you understand why that might be, it has nothing to do with how the customer perceives you. It's your confidence. That's all it is. So, imagine if you had some of you, a lot of you, already experienced this when you have a healthy background in fitness. Now, fitness produces a level of confidence that surpasses anything you could ever put on superficially. So that's why I believe confidence you create through a healthy lifestyle, maintaining your energy, becoming fit, runs deeper than anything you could ever put on. So, I want to ask you this next question. What does the best version of you look like? Now really think about this question, guys. The best version of you. The best version of you. What does that version of you look like? And not just like look like in the sense of a metaphorically, but physically look like. What are their habits? What are their routines? How do they feel on a daily basis? Does the best version of you, do they make excuses? Do they skip their workouts? Do they have some unhealthy habits that I've known that I've in the past had to overcome to fight my own battles and overcoming some unhealthy habits, staying up late, not doing my phone time, not building my business, not doing the extra things that I know that's going to make a difference in my business? What does the best version of you do? And I believe the best version of you is the only version of you which you should always continually to strive for. Because, I mean, that's just my personal belief. I think anything else is a waste. To not continually pursue that relentlessly. So, I'll tell you this much. If you want to take your life and business to the next level, get fit. Or at least in the pursuit of it. Or adopt a healthy lifestyle if you don't have one already. Now, this guy right here, it's not some random guy I found on the internet. I actually know this guy. His name's Eric Raposa, and he's recently became a really good friend of mine. A really good friend, not only a good friend, but also somewhat of a mentor. Now, during our workout sessions, he told me something that really stuck out. And I quote, "There is nothing more satisfying than pushing yourself to your limits and giving your absolute best to overcome an obstacle than you once thought possible." Now, I know that sounds cool in writing, but what does that sound like to you guys? Can anyone guess what what the energy behind this quote feels like? Anyone? It's sales, right? It's a push period. Yeah, does that sound like absolutely the same? Now I'm telling you, around this concept, training, fitness, health, energy, all that transfers over into your business. And it's not just the confidence you gain from the vanity of slowly looking good, looking better, but it's also the discipline that comes from it, the psychology that comes from it, you putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable places to explore what's outside your comfort zone to find out what you're actually made of. Now, this is also going to transfer over into your years. I heard some amazing stories, and you guys probably have it. You guys already experienced this too. When you hit a goal, a big goal that you thought was once impossible, audacious goal, it didn't come easy. I mean, I wish it did. I wish it was just all yellow sunshines and purple rainbows and just sugar and cookies. No. Every goal that I hit that was it was always beyond my capabilities, but I really had to push it. And it was always till the last possible moment. I had to push it pretty much all the way till the end in order for me to even find out if it was possible for me to get there. So, I have a little story for you. This is John. He's actually a really good friend of mine and a client of mine. So, John is a very, very awesome person. But I've known John for somewhat about 15 years, 10, 15 years, and he's always been the big guy. And we didn't identify him as that, but I just knew he was just bigger. And he came to me to pursue this idea of losing weight. Now, the how is irrelevant right now, but what I want to show you is through the process of him getting down to 190, and he looks really good, but what I've noticed in him is his life changed. And not only his life, but his business changed. He transformed his body, which transformed his confidence, and it transformed his business, which transformed his lifestyle. This guy is doing amazing. He's going to festivals, raves, eating all the wings at Hooters. That's what some lifestyle is. But anyways, his business was the thing that was dramatically increased, and he was recognized on stage by the region manager being somewhat of a transformation story. And I'm really proud of this guy. So, now, that's all fun and cool to know, yeah, I know I need to do this, but how? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to show you how by 3 simple concepts. But the first question is, we have to understand what energy is. So, by definition, does anyone know what energy is? Back. What was that? The ability to produce heat? I would take that, yeah. It's a common concept. So, energy is the strength and the vitality required to sustain physical and mental activity. The more energy you have, the more you can sustain physical and mental activity. The less energy you have, the less you can sustain physical and mental activity. So when it comes to selling at the booth, your energy is direct relation to 3 things. It's your mental energy, your physical energy, and your emotional energy. Now, when it comes to brain optimization, your mental energy, it's what you eat affects your mental clarity. Processed foods cause inflammation. And then for the longest time, I didn't know what inflammation was or why it was even a bad thing. I thought maybe I should not get that because everyone says it's bad, so I probably don't want that. But I don't really know why I didn't want it until I researched it. And then I started experimenting how to mitigate inflammation. So inflammatory foods increases cortisol levels in the system. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and the foods that we eat make a big impact on how we think, how we feel, and how we heal, and how we grow. And the nutrients in the foods are precursors to neurotransmitters. Does anyone know what neurotransmitters are? Neurochemicals, some of you? Yeah, so neurotransmitters, neurochemicals are the chemical messages in the brain, and they dictate how you think. And they can go as far as dictating certain personality types. And the main neurotransmitters, in case you haven't know, some of the main ones, in case you haven't heard this before, is GABA, serotonin, acetylcholine, and dopamine. I don't have a lot of time to go into each of them, but they're there for a reason. And some of these are more important for certain aspects, and others are more important for others. In instant cases, acetylcholine is going to help you for thinking and be critical, alert, and aware, where serotonin is a happy molecule, and GABA is more like the chill molecule. But sometimes how we eat can over-exaggerate one of these. You ever overthink a little too often, a little too much, and stress yourself out over nothing? The foods that we have a direct impact on this. Next one is physical. The psychology response your body gives you great advantages through physical activity, through movement. Your dopamine goes up, you feel more accomplished, reduces anxiety, depression, sharpens memory, you think sharper, you think quicker, and increases endorphins. It's really good. A lot of good things comes from physical movement and physical activity. Your body wants to move. It's just it's designed to move. And the last one is how you feel, emotional. So how you process emotions and how you manage emotions. Do you get upset when a customer says or does something? Or do you get upset when a customer does not say or do something? Like they don't buy, and it affects you, and it gets you upset, and another customer comes up and you're still upset from the last one. That whole thing, someone said it yesterday, like you have to give your best. Because the last customer doesn't know your interaction with the last one before her or him. So how you process emotions and also expressing yourself, because when you're upset, it might not be the best way to express it to a customer, but have healthy outlets to express it when due time, because you're human and we have emotions. And coping and utilizing healthy outlets is a great way to express and be more vibrant. And releasing, suppressing, and repressing emotions and understanding what is underneath the mask. Now, all these things that happen with the physical, the emotional, and the mental come down to the aspects around fitness, sleep, and nutrition. So how this ties in together, we're going to talk about sleep first. So, get you to understand, there's a pyramid according to the science, the Journal of Science and Medicine. Now, if you see sleep is at the bottom, do you guys know why sleep is at the bottom? It's freaking important, man. It's the most important one. From anything that you do. Because we can't expect to be high vibrational, high alert, and trying to accomplish great things if we're sacrificing our sleep. And I know there's times in business where we have to sacrifice sleep sometimes. And who's heard this? I'll sleep when I'm dead. Go, go, go. Team no sleep. Oh, man. If you only knew how much you were wasting, man. So, what happens when you sleep deprive yourself, and it's not just on the acute, meaning the short durations, because sometimes you might need to do that to get the job done. It is part of business sometimes, unfortunately. It is part of life, unfortunately, but it's also on the chronic and how long you're doing this for. So it results in impaired memory loss. Your memory gets affected. Your immune system definitely gets affected. If you think back about the times you've ever been sick or gotten sick, think about how was your sleep the days leading up to that. And I would bet that you might not have had good sleep hygiene in the process. Obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, a lot of these come from long-term sleep deprivations. Now, in the pursuit of excellence and productivity, once you begin sacrificing your sleep, if you think about it, your productivity and the ability to think and make smart decisions drastically plummet. It's not the same. And the version of you that got good sleep versus the version of you that did not get good sleep, there's no comparison. Now, what happens when you start sleep depriving yourself? First thing, cortisol. It's a stress hormone. It goes up. Does anyone know the implications around high cortisol levels? It's linked to a lot of ailments and issues that come from the natural of health. But cortisol goes up. Leptin, which is a weight satiety hormone, goes down. Ability to control weight. Ghrelin. Does anyone know what ghrelin is? It's a hunger hormone. It's the one that's that thing that makes you hungry. The feeling that makes you hungry. That goes up. Movement goes down because I'm tired. I don't want to move anymore. I don't want to train. I don't want to do anything. Testosterone. It's an epidemic. It goes down. Immune system goes down. Cognitive function goes down. And the mood goes down. So, how to combat this is, you'll probably know this. The older you get, the more you have to treat sleep as a skill. Because the more you have on your plate, the more stress you have, the more you have to be proactive about getting good sleep. So, Few things, I don't have a lot of time to go in depth into this, but just make sure you have a routine. No stimulants before bed. The big one is blackout curtains, or an eye mask. The body loves to sleep in cold temperatures. And if you have to eat well before bed. Avoid the fried food, the fatty food, because having upset digestive disrupts sleep. And when you disrupt sleep, we're talking about the REM cycle and the deep sleep. That's the thing that we want to elevate the highest. That's going to make the difference. Now, the next one is nutrition. This is what I'm really excited about. So, what is healthy nutrition? How do I do it? And what does healthy even mean? Does anyone know the difference between food quantity and food quality? I have like a third of the room right now. So, I'll explain the difference, because this is actually what I think is so confusing in the whole wellness and the health and the fitness space. Okay, the first thing, food quantity, is the overall calories that we're consuming daily, weekly basis. So it's the energy balance. It's what your body cares about most in regards to body fat and weight management and muscle, and the whole concept around calories in versus calories out. By nature, you will gain or lose weight by the amount of calories you consume in the relation to your maintenance, okay, your metabolism. And someone said in the back earlier, what is energy? But calories are energy. So I think this is also a big thing that some people try to do, but anyone ever try to go on a weight loss phase and restrict calories and then got tired? And you think about it, it's the reason why it's happening is because the calories are energy. We need the calories to sustain energy. And if we limit the calories, we're limiting energy. So, there's a way to go about this, but just to be announced or be known, but what food quantity is. So if you want to gain weight, eat more, move less. If you want to lose weight, eat less, move more. That's the whole concept. It's not that simple, but there's more to it. But just understand what food quantity is. But food quality is a big difference, and I think this is what's going to make the biggest impact here. So food quality is nutrient density. So this is what refers to as healthy eating. It's more of like a micronutrient focus, vitamin-rich foods, mineral-rich foods, whole foods, simple ingredients, less artificial chemicals that affects the gut microbiome. It's what you consider that's healthy on the inside, and it's what your gut likes, and your gut likes variety. So think about like the whole concept around like organic, no preservatives, no nitrates, no pesticides. These are the things that are in the concept of food quality, nutrient density. But the problem is, it's high inflammation that comes from low food qualities. High inflammation increases cortisol levels and toxic buildup. And artificial chemicals do have direct links to cancers and other ailments, and they do affect your mind. So a simple hack that you can do if you're trying to sustain energy at the booth, try improving your food quality. In some cases, even try to improve your food overall calories sometimes. And I would recommend, I don't have a lot of time to go into this, but protein is one of the best macronutrients that you can be consuming to sustain energy and to help improve muscle density. So I don't have a lot of time to go into this one, guys, but here's a little tip for you, is how to get more protein in the diet. And the reason why we want protein, because it is a building block of muscle. Now, I wish I had more time to go into this. I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to give you something to take. Now, it's something that you can really understand and take home if you want to go ahead and screenshot this, but even better, I actually was thinking about how can I give back in a big way, and I created something for you guys that encompasses all the aspects of health, vitality, nutrition. Now, this is a big topic. Like pretty much what I struggle with is like, how do I give a lot of value in such a broad topic in such a short amount of time? and it was almost impossible. In fact, I created a whole talk and had to scratch it and start from new to make sure I had this digestible and easy to deliver. But I made a guide for everyone that could take the guesswork out of understanding the concepts of health, nutrition, energy, vitality, longevity. And I wanted to deliver it to you guys and give it to you guys as part as my reason and my process of giving back. So if you guys want, I have a QR code here. I will email you the guide. It will come directly from me. Now, while you're getting this, go ahead and understand something too, because I'm going to try to at least give you the goods around some of these other tips, because I am running out of time. How to eat healthy while traveling. Now, this is the big one a lot of people struggle with. And if you're a traveling show rep or becoming a traveling show rep, I'm traveling all the time. It's impossible to get healthy. Well, it's not impossible, but it's a little bit more challenging. And what you can do, you can seek out meal prep companies. Meal prep companies are either local, that's what I would recommend, or you can have them delivered. There's Icon Meals, there's Trifecta. I think Huel's another one. You guys maybe have heard of this or tried it. They deliver good quality, macro-friendly, high nutrient-dense food. And that's the thing I would recommend doing all the time when given. And then grocery store tips. The biggest one that I would recommend in the pursuit of maintaining food quality is shop around the perimeter of the grocery store. Stay away from the aisles. Those dark, dark aisles with that good food. Now, there's more hacks, there's more tips that I created in the guide for you guys, but I got to keep going. So I want you to understand this too. This is actually something that I live by that I always tell people. You're either living to eat or you're eating to live. Fitness is the next one. And this is a big point I want to drive home, okay? So when it comes to longevity, the best thing you can do is build muscle in the body. And there's an epidemic going on that's happening to us, and you will notice this as we get older. In the general population, the signs of age and physical decline begin as early as in your 30s and gradually gain momentum from there. And around 40, muscle mass and strength loss, not gain. Muscle mass and strength loss begins to accelerate. On average, muscle mass loss is usually typically around 0.5% annually after 40. And the turning point, the big one, is after 50. You lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass and strength in a year, and 3% after 60. So collectively, muscle mass and strength in the general population drops to 30 to 50% between 30 and 80 years old. So the best thing you can do is early on in your younger years is build as much muscle mass as you can and just maintain it throughout the rest of your life. But that's not to say that you can't make a turning point no matter what age. And why is building muscle so important? And it's a big thing that muscle is an active tissue. It requires energy. You'll get to eat more of your favorite foods. And it's underappreciated role because it also helps protect from disease. It's a protective tissue. It plays a vital role against disease and chronic ailments. And the big importance for overcoming stress responses, traumas, illness. You won't have to worry about falling and breaking something when you're older. Or as much. Even though it's not a given. Accidents still happen, but you're more resilient as a result of it. More strength to perform daily tasks and less prone to cardiovascular problems, less prone to risks and falls and insulin resistance. A lot of these ailments that come later on in life. So, now, I also gave you guys something else, so I don't have time to go into this one. But the main thing when it comes to trying to build muscle is going to be two things. Consistency and intensity. Now what I also created for you guys was a 30 days of workouts that I wanted to give to you as a result of it. Because it's not about just like knowing how, but it's also the application. So if you guys want, it's totally optional, but this is something that I want to give, and I don't want nothing in return. But that will come 5 days later. Now, A couple things I want to say, because after this time is up, is how to plan your gym and training schedule. Because when we travel, it's a hard thing, and it's a common thing I hear the most. Plan gyms ahead of time. You can choose chain memberships that are nationwide, like EOS, 24 Hour, The Gym, Crunch, LA Fitness. You've heard of these before. And you can also call local gyms and even negotiate gym passes or day passes that are going to run between 10 and 20 bucks, if not hotel gyms. But the biggest one is to just put it in your schedule. Now, this is probably like the funnest one. I wish I had more time on, but I only have 30 seconds. But biohacks that you guys could start exploring that are going to make a big improvement in your overall energy, but also your overall wellness. One is a big one. You guys ever heard of Wim Hof? Iceman? Yeah. I am a fan of Wim Hof. Ice baths, holotropic breath work, meditation, sun exposure, red light therapy, and to help with your sleep, to get that deep REM cycle, that deep sleep, you could also explore it deep with binaural beats. Anyways, guys, that is my time. I created this guide for you. I hope you guys like it. If you guys take this guide, go ahead and do me a favor. Put it in your schedule to go through it, because it's nothing without implementation and applying this to your everyday life. That's my time, guys. Thank you.